I'm George Alfredas, and this is a show about crypto, stocks, and the changing and new financial world around us.
That's right. I'm Dave Mathews, and you're watching What's Next Wall Street.
So this week, I'm talking about labor shortages and how it's affecting consumers and the products we want. Plus, is our economic outlook looking... Graham, did you get the outlook?
Is that a Christmas pun?
Let's try it.
Well done. And we'll talk about the tax tweet where Elon Musk announced what it costs to be the world's richest man to pay Uncle Sam. Hey, remember that one presidential election where the guy wouldn't reveal the taxes that he probably didn't even pay?
Right? Okay, plus I'm going to show you all the hot new trending products and services that you'll not only want to use, but also probably invest in.
And we've got Greg Krause here, the lead instructor at OptionsPlayers.com, to help us learn the fundamentals of a company stock to make you an informed trader. He's got thoughts and opinions on where the charts and indicators say a particular stock is going.
So what we want to do is help you create this tailored trade plan that keeps you up to speed with what's next on Wall Street so that you can stack your gains, right?
But the show doesn't work without you. You can email us at WNW@OptionsPlayers.com or hit us up on social media at What's Next Wall Street with your questions.
Oh, wait, you can also watch this episode. I forget. You can watch us on Options Players YouTube channel, or you can listen on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. And of course, if you have a question or anything, just put it in the comment section.
All right, one major financial firm is already cutting its economic outlook after West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin announced his opposition to the Build Back Better legislation. It only took one guy to hold out. Now, Goldman Sachs says they expect the GDP to grow at an annualized pace of 2% in the first quarter, down from 3%. They also lowered their growth expectations for the second and third quarters of 2022. The firm says while the legislation's demise has negative implications in the near term, it will likely have some offsetting positive effects, you think, for the financial markets. But look, hey, they're going to get this bill passed just with some changes being made.
That's right. And the richest person on earth says he'll pay more taxes than any American in history this year. Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk tweeted that his 2021 tax bill will total more than $11 billion.
So Georgia, check out this chart. This is unbelievable. Now, this is a growth of...
unbelievable.
Watch Elon come up from the bottom here. There's Elon.
Wow.
80.
Talk about a
90,
come up.
100 billion.
Talk about
look
a
at this,
come
look
up.
at this, look at this. Oh.
Started from the bottom, now we here.
Oh my God, that is for real.
Wow.
And Bezos, needs to be cut in half because McKinsey took half of his wealth. So
okay.
But anyway, this Elon's growth and that tax bill, that tweet was because of Elizabeth Warren, who recently said that he should pay taxes and stop freeloading off everyone else. Really? Oh, thanks. The Massachusetts Democrat took that shot at Musk after Time Magazine named him Person of the Year. Meanwhile, he should maybe change this segment, or we should change this segment to the Elon Musk Minute, because we're always talking about this guy.
Yeah, but everybody's talking about Elon Musk. A lot of people are upset that he's Times Person of the Year. Even that other guy who doesn't want to pay taxes was as well. But back to Elon. Everybody uses PayPal. Nobody thought electric cars were cool until Teslas came along. He created SpaceX, which lowered the cost of space exploration and brought attention to it. He committed over $150 million to charities in the last few months, and he's promised to give half of his fortune to charity. And he's asking the right questions like, how much will it take to end world hunger? Now, how many billionaires are willing to spend their own money on all this kind of stuff? Why do people hate this guy?
I love him. He's literally the Tony Stark Asperger edition.
Oh,
now I've had a conversation with him at Burning Man, and while he was talking to me, peasant me, his eyes were looking around the room like basketballs. This guy's clearly not one of us, and I'm happy for his existence among us.
Agreed. For now, he totally gets to escape for now he's among us until he gets this escape route to Mars figured out, right? But do you hear Greg? I can't wait. Greg is over here just huffing and puffing and huffing and puffing. What is the problem, Greg? What are you mad about?
There ain't no problem.
Okay. All right. We keep it moving.
All right. So the pro tip.
Okay.
It's always good to take a look at your wins at the end of the year to maximize your trade plan and take potential losses if you need to offset those gains. Also, When you review your trading journal, you should be able to see exactly what mistakes you made, which can become bad habits. And we don't want that.
Yeah.
Those should be unlearned. Hey, make this your New Year's resolution and make next year your stackiest one yet.
Stackiest. Okay.
It's a thing.
Okay, this is the part of the show where we get to hear from you. You can always hit us up on social media at What's Next Wall Street, or you can email us at ww@optionsplayers.com. Make sure you subscribe to the Options Players YouTube page as well. Lots of good comments and questions, which we answer, like this one from Bo Careful. I hope I said that right. Careful? I don't know. Anyway, Bo's asking, what sectors do you see having the most upside for 2022? Bo, I'd like to answer it, but this is a great question. So what do you see in your investment crystal ball, Greg? By the way, love the Buc-ee's Christmas store. See how he's in the Christmas spirit, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys can just buck off.
Yes. So sectors to look for in 2022. First off, it's probably best if you're just going to purchase a EFT in the market. So the S&P 500 or NASDAQ, something like that, and stick with that. Now, if you're going to try to, do some type of risk management in the sectors, I do think actually the auto industry might come back up. We have Tesla, which is on, its rocket ship like always. Is it overvalued? Yeah, probably, but who cares?
Rivian might nip away at that too.
Yeah.
Right?
And GM maybe? What about GM with the Hummer coming, the electric Hummer?
This is the thing, is Tesla's worth a lot of money. Just to put that, it's worth more than basically all the U.S. auto companies put together, right? And then are they selling more than just what Ford sells in F-150s? The answer is no. Are they making more? No. It's what can they do in the future? And also, let's call it the fanboyism, right?
Yeah.
So everybody likes Elon Musk.
Sure.
I mean, like y'all
Or
said.
they hate him. They
He's
like
done
him
a
or they
lot.
hate him.
And,
Yeah.
if you hate him, whatever. You're probably, ignorant. But it is what it is. He doesn't have all that money. He has to sell the stocks, of course. Yeah, the auto industry, I think, will come back. So as more chips come in, I think we see that change. So the inflation on used cars is extremely high. With the new ones, we all seen the sticker prices of some cars where the dealer markups, almost as much as the car is in some cases if you're talking about. I'm not out there trying to buy a G-Wagon or anything, but go try to find a G-Wagon that's under like $200K. It might be hard to find. They have like $70,000 markups. Some Broncos, right? Someone just got a new brand new slick Bronco.
I had to keep my husband from selling it. He's like, that boy doesn't need that Bronco.
I bet you the resale on it's like 30,000 more. But if you find one on a lot that's for sale, I bet you it's got a huge markup on it on most dealerships. So I think autos is be a good one to look in, especially if you can get in one that's a little cheap. Some of us got into Ford when it was extremely low and like $4, and that's where we're kind of hanging in it.
Yeah.
Other sectors, I think gold, oil, surprisingly. Oil was up high and it's back down a little bit. Crude is. So although we're all talking about Build Back Better, whatever, that stopped. But the climate stuff, there's still oil. And that's what people think, we're going to stop using oil. No, you're not. Yeah. Everything you have has oil in it. Yeah. Just right now, if you have clothes on, you have oil on your body. Just to let you know, unless it's 100% cotton.
Yeah, that's all I wear, Greg.
It's got oil.
100% cotton.
That's all you wear,
so
right?
I have no oil.
Yeah, I mean.
I have oil on my fingers from working on my cars.
Right? Oil, the watch, oil. Everything has oil in it in some sense. So I think that we might see a resurgence of that. What's some other ones? The housing industry might come back because with the fear of inflation, and then everybody's kind of hold off, and everybody thought, the rates were going to rise with this inflation. Well, we've seen the rates have not risen. Actually kind of went down coming in. So we might see more housing. About the government
interest rates.
Yes, as the federal rate has gone down. And but
that's that's them playing with, throw a lot of money in the market, then supply chain issues,
it's a little bit
inflation,
different. So you have the federal rate that goes wherever it wants, and then you have what your say your interest rate on a house. They don't exactly mirror. They do, go together, but it's not identical. So with that, some mortgage rates have gone down. So who would expect that with the incoming inflation, you would think banks would try to raise those rates because they're going to get hit with it.
Yeah, but good luck trying to find a house because
Well,
now the
that's
house
thing.
you
So
can't.
perfect, right? So we had 2020, COVID hit. Everybody was kind of so everybody stopped making wood, right? Or they stopped making products. They thought, we're not going to do this. So we got in a backlog. Now we're in a bigger backlog and a bigger and bigger, and now they're just trying to pump out as much as they can. So if they can pump out all that stuff, all the goods, we might see a lot more houses. So just look in your area right here in Dallas. How many houses are going up just off the freeways?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's because everyone smartly is leaving California and New
I know,
York.
coming here.
I mean, you could probably go down the street and see 100,000 houses if you drive around just the interstate and all the highways.
Yeah.
It takes time to build those. You got to build the infrastructure, and now they're going to be coming out. And I think that's, a lot of places. So it takes time. You can't go, hey, I want a house, make a house, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So I think we'll see that hit up. So I think the housing market come into its own now, or at least when I mean housing, you don't have to go Ritz or something like that. You can also go like Home Depot, things like that, also with that.
All right.
But S&P 500 through SPY, things like that, stick with it normal and just don't try to nitpick because who knows? Like I said, you got craziness that just.
All right. Greg says, stick with the S&P 500 basics. All right. Thank you, Bo, for commenting. Hey, here's another Options Players question from our YouTube page. It comes to us from Brock, who asks, why do NFTs have value? Is it just because of the price, the seller, and the buyer placed on it? A supply and demand kind of thing? Well, that's a great question. Very relevant. One of my old school Web 1.0 friends says, the way to make $1 million on NFTs is to spend $5 million on them. But that's just today. Now, I think the idea of NFTs on things like your home, like Greg was mentioning, or your car title in the future makes a lot of sense. But realistically, to change those systems, that's going to be far out. But if you look at what happened recently with the Bored Ape Yacht Club, their value actually surpassed the CryptoPunks. And they're also giving membership to events and drops with Adidas, which last weekend just earned them $22 million over a single day. They put them in these LL Cool J track suits. It's definitely for a new generation of art investors. So right now, it's a lot of cool kid hype. But the other thing is, what else are you going to spend your crypto money on, right? So you've got all that money that you've stacked. There's not a lot of things you can buy out there with Ethereum. So the supply of crypto still outweighs the quantity of NFTs. So there's your supply and demand curve.
Okay.
All right, if you've got a question, we can answer it or find someone else in the room who can. So hit us up on social media at What's Next Wall Street. Email us at WNW@OptionsPlayers.com or ask your question in the comment section of our YouTube page. We love that. All right, this week we dive into securities and encryption, inspired by this headline about JP Morgan's Chase being fined $200 million for letting their traders use private back channels of communication from WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger.
Unbelievable.
These are two of Meta Company's holdings. Now, the fine is also for not keeping proper communication records since 2015. Now, this falls back to regulations that came out of the LIBOR scandal based on broker manipulation of foreign exchange rates. You see, back in 2013, brokers manipulated markets on third-party chat rooms. Those were hard to monitor. And because of this, trading firms are required to maintain and keep logs of their own communications to help prevent insider activities.
So you mean like getting proprietary behind the scenes info, like what put Martha Stewart in the slammer in the West Virginia prison camp. Another five on house arrest she got. Although, look at her street cred she got, right? I mean, she's like making pot brownies with Snoop now, so we all like her.
She is pretty cool now, but she was buddies with the founder of a publicly traded company who did not get Food and Drug Administration approval for his product. And he told her ahead of time. And then she sold shares. Now think about it, Georgia.
Okay.
How sweet would a second lockup home arrest be in Martha's suburban New York crib?
Right?
She even dropped this Wizard of Oz line. There's no place like home when they were putting the ankle bracelet on her, monitoring her home arrest situation.
She's a mess, man. She's so cool now.
All right. Back on topic. Most messaging apps tout encrypted end-to-end, giving you a sense of security for your messages to only be read by the receiving party.
Okay.
Did you know that most of these apps are flawed in regard to how they actually protect that stored data? Well, thanks to the FBI leaking some information that most security experts knew based upon standard vulnerabilities in software. So that means messages that are presumed secure might not be. And that's why the fine from the SEC is more than just a slap on the wrist. It could be preventing snooping that could mean real financial gains or losses. But let's back up. Protection of data works like this. It uses keys to encrypt information in motion between two devices.
Okay.
Now, they started this on the first cassette tape software in the 1980s.
I get it. You're cute.
Yeah,
You're so cute.
it's my mixtape.
I get it.
So just like your phone modem used to make noises to communicate, old computer tapes used to play applications to an input on your computer.
Right.
Since many people had dual cassette duplication equipment, it was easy to pirate software. But now most software is in the cloud, so we use this encrypted data to protect as it goes between your web browser or application and the cloud.
Okay.
Now this is that little padlock you see, or the HTTPS
Right, okay.
on your browser bar. But weaknesses in encryption or storage subpoenas allow governments or bad actors to take the data in motion or on the server and peer into it.
That's some serious sci-fi stuff there, but what does it mean, like, for me?
So here's what it looks like. The least secure apps are those that use Apple's iCloud for backup. This means that if you use iMessage and WhatsApp and tell the cloud to store copies of those messages, then those messages can be downloaded, deciphered, and read.
Okay.
So-called secured communications like Wicker, Telegram, Signal, and Viber, they don't reveal the contents of your sent or received messages, so those what's called a payload is secure. But they can reveal the phone number you're registered with, what your IP address is, and in some cases, who you have in your address book for those services. So in case those people could be tied to a bad actor based upon this information, that would tie it back to you. But it looks like the convenience of the cloud and its synchronization to all your devices still remains the Achilles heel of privacy.
Dang. Okay, Dave, so a new study shows how the holiday labor shortage is costing consumers. Research shows business leaders have raised their prices by an average of 6% to compensate for labor shortages. A survey of over 600 business owners, managers, and senior employees, found that 33% of workers quit their jobs just before the holidays. So the study also found that nearly half of their businesses are actively hiring, okay? This is why it takes forever to finally get to the register when you're shopping, or why you walk into a half-full restaurant and they can say, you're like, there's no seats in here. And they're like, I can't seat you, because they just don't have the staff to cook or to serve you. And to make matters worse, it's the dang holidays, and we are running out of candy canes. I can see how this may not be a big deal for some of you.
This is so not a story.
You may even find this trivial, okay? But you may think I shouldn't bring it up. However, when you live in a house with a 7-year-old and you can't find candy canes at Christmas, it's a real problem, Dave. That's, luckily you can blame, I don't mean luckily, but you got to blame this on COVID-19, which is making a decline in annual peppermint production and the global supply chain disruptions even worse. For instance, Dave, Economy Candy in New York City, I looked this up.
We better have a good quote on this.
Yeah. Well, they specialize in candy canes, and how about this? They're sold out for the first time since they opened. When did this company open? 84 years ago. I hate you. The owner says the store only got half its orders and sold out almost immediately. Candy canes are obviously not the only commodity casualty. Other holiday items falling victim to this pandemic include tree ornaments, also a problem in my house.
Enough, I'm sure.
Gingerbread houses, also a problem in my house.
You don't really eat those, do you?
Listen, for those of us living with little people, these are ginormous issues, okay? I am so over talking about supply chain issues. So hopefully we'll not be talking about this in the next year. You don't know. You don't have to make like 3 or 4 gingerbread houses that fall apart before you even get them done. It's hard living with a little person. It really is.
Hey, despite Georgia's first world problems, we want to thank lead instructor at Options Players, Greg Krause, for being here with us today. Remember,
If you've got questions,
we've got answers.
That's right. Send them our way. We're always going to engage, okay? Plus, we like hearing from you. So email us at WandDave@OptionsPlayers.com. Hit us up on social media at What's Next Wall Street, or, of course, comment on YouTube.
But wait, we've got one more thing.
What?
Georgia, remember back in 2004 we did that Christmas special TV show?
That was so much fun. Was it on NBC?
It was syndicated around the world. The concept was we were both locked in a mall, and all you wanted to do was get out, and all I wanted to do was show you all the cool gadgets for Christmas.
Fun. Yes.
It was a classic tale of a man trying to impress a woman.
Yeah, it didn't work. I just went to shop. I was like, why aren't these stores open?
We've actually got a segment of the show right here.
Yeah.
I cannot believe he said there was a security guard over there when there was no one over there.
No one? Well, what about me?
Wait a minute, you were just in the car over there. How did you get over? You know what? It doesn't even matter. I just want to go home. Don't you want to go home?
No way. You think I want to miss out on all these high-tech toys? I'm the gadget guy, and an empty mall at midnight is like a vacation in paradise for me.
Well, not me. I want to go home. I got to walk my dog.
Well, I can't help you get out, but I can give you some great gift ideas for everyone on your shopping list.
Really? Well, let's just see how good you are, Mr. Gadget Guy. What in the world am I going to give my boss? He has everything.
Everything, eh?
I mean, he's impossible to buy for.
Well, does he have a computer?
Are you serious? Come on, you can do better than that.
Yes, I can, because I bet he doesn't have the eye gesture pad.
What's that?
Well, put your hand right here.
All right.
Now move your hand and watch the screen.
Wow, my hand is moving like a mouse.
That's right. This is the eye gesture pad from Fingerworks. It's an ultra-thin, large area, super-duper touchpad that's both a mouse and a powerful multi-finger gesture command center.
That's cool.
Yeah, it lets you do all the mouse operations like point, click, drag, scroll, and zoom just by moving your fingertips. Does your boss have that?
No, he doesn't, but he will love it. Dave, you're a genius.
Oh my God.
Powerful. I can't even believe it. That's
now, how
crazy.
funny was that accessory touchpad back in the days when Macs had roller bars and IBM's had that little eraser nub right in the middle?
Yes.
Now every keyboard has that. Every computer has that.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that. That is so crazy.
And I love that at the end of the segment, you called me a genius.
Yeah, I didn't mean it.
You haven't aged a day because black don't crack at all.
him know.
You might have got younger, right? He went from looking 22 and geeky to gaining a few years, but he doesn't look so geeky now. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Gosh, that was fun.
All right. Well,
that was
everybody, Merry
18
Christmas.
years ago.
Thanks for checking out What's Next Wall Street. Of course, you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcast. I'm the geeky Dave Mathews.
Yes, and I'm Georgia Alfredas. Thanks for watching and happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Feliz Navidad.
Oh, my God.